Alright, this is going to be two. I had to stop the video. Anyway, as I was saying in the last video, just like the purge, the world thinks that they're so superior, they're so civilized, and they're so everything. And my mama always told me, little like this, as I got older, I reiterated, changed it, and added more things to it. But I always say this: if you're the type of person who needs a law to tell you what you can and can't do, if you're the type of person who needs a law to tell you how to be a good person, you're a piece of fucking shit. Because when that law is done with, you're going to revert back to your natural self, the savage that you are. And that's what you're seeing in the world. And that's definitely what you're seeing among the European race. The white man himself, he's resorting back to his primitive state. His primitive state. Because his laws, first of all, his religion didn't work. That's why he needed a religion. That's why he needed to create a fake religion to tell him how to be a good human being, because it's naturally not inside of him to be a good human being. See, if you're the type of person that when this society crumbles, when all policies are done away with, when all laws are wiped away, if you're still a good person, a righteous person, then you truly are a good, righteous person. Because it's in your heart. The law of God is in your heart. And the world doesn't follow God's laws. They only follow the worldly laws. Because the worldly laws, first of all, upholds their unworldly and ungodly system. So they created worldly laws to uphold their ungodly ways. Not only to uphold their ungodly ways, but to hide their ungodly ways through their so-called godly laws. And I say it just like this. I know who people are based off their spirit. And I treat them accordingly. Because I know if the purge was to happen right now, tonight, most of you savages would be out there on those streets doing savage shit. Because that's who you are naturally, a savage. See, when there's no fake policy, that's why all these workplaces and all these jobs and all these schools and all these colleges, all these policies, they're all fake. That's why I treat a lot of people think have an attitude and everything. No, I know that you're only speaking to me because policy told you to. And you're only smiling at me because policy told you to. So therefore, I'm going to reject you anyway. Because I'm the type of person, I'm not going to fake pretend like I like you or anything. And I would prefer that you not do that with me either. I don't need you to fake speak to me, fake smile with me, fake talk to me, none of that. I would prefer that you completely ignore me and go about your business. Because if I find out that you were pretending to like me and you don't, the ass beating and the merciless vengeance I'm going to bring upon you, it's going to be 10 times worse if you just didn't like me and stayed the fuck away. It's very simple. See, this policy upon earth, this fake policy, is what's giving everyone their fake emotions, their fake opinions, people think, oh, I know who I am. No, you don't. No, you don't. You won't know truly who you are until laws and policies are all done away with. Then we're going to see who you really are. We're going to see who you really are. Because a lot of these people, they're not good people. They only act a certain way because policy and law told them. And I spot that from a mile away. Phew! You ain't fooling me. I can see that from a mile away. You're a wrathful, horrible person. And if it wasn't for workplace policy and workplace laws, you'd be the savage that I naturally already know you are. If it wasn't for social policy and social laws, you'd be a savage. That's the difference between me, because I don't care about social construct, social policies, social laws. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm going to say what needs to be said, and I'm going to do what needs to be done, because I can pray and I also can stump your face to the mat. I can do both. So to me, I don't need to play no damn game. If anything, you need to play the game with me, because my words determine whether you live or you die. Most of the world, without this policy, without these laws, they would be savages. And that's how you know truly who a person is. What does that person do when you're not looking? See, I'm the type of person, I'm a righteous person, so I obey God's laws, whether there are eyes there or whether their eyes are not there. Because the God of Abraham is always there. But you people, most of the people upon this earth, you're not like that. You need policies and laws to dictate how you behave, because you're naturally an animal. So because you're an animal, there has to be laws put in play to keep you from acting like the animal that they know, that the government knows that you really are. You don't think the government knows that their people, their nations, their civilians of people are nothing but a bunch of animals? You Americans ain't nothing more but savages and animals. And you're going to find that out very shortly when the stores go empty. You're going to find that out very shortly. I mean, these are the same people that stumped you down for a TV on Black Friday. Imagine what they're going to do when there's no food. You people are animals and savages. That's why I don't respect, trust, or like a lot of y'all people. Because I know good and damn well when the laws are done away with, the true savage is going to come right up out of you. You're not a good person. You only think you're a good person because you follow the fake laws that was established before you. But a person like me, we don't need no laws because we already follow righteousness. And all the worldly laws are nothing more but imitated God's laws. That's all they are. To try to make an unholy people seem as holy as possible. That's all law and policy is for. That's all it was ever created for. Was try to make animals and unholy people seem holy and righteous. But now that those laws are being destroyed, now that the ways and the system is being destroyed, the true primitive nature of those people are now coming out. It's coming out. I always say, you want to you want to, and I always say this. You want to know who the white man who really is? Tell him no. Tell him no. Don't smile in his face. Tell him no. And he resort right back to his primitive nature. Just like that. It won't take long. All praises to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because he's getting rid of all these worldly laws. And the world will be under his law and his law only. And those that are not under his law, you'll be put to death. Period.